Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, the one and only Hosting Cruz, bringing you another exciting edition of boxing. Don't forget to hit and to like, subscribe to my channel. It's always greatly appreciated. Stay tuned. Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Hosting Cruz, and on August 16th, live from Vegas, fight capital of the world, the highly anticipated rematch between one of the cash cows in the sport of boxing, one of the face of boxing, one of the hardest punchers in boxing today, Gervonta Tank Davis, the 3-division world champion, the 5-time world champion, 30-0, 28 big wins by knockout, taking on Lamont Roach Jr., 25-1, 2 draws, 10 knockouts, the champion at 130 pounds, the WBA champion. Now, the first fight, which happened 5 months ago, so it's a quick turnaround for these two guys to come back in and go at it again 5 months. The first fight happened on March 1st at the T-Mobile Arena in Vegas. And coming in, it was a fight that nobody wanted. Honestly, this fight, they wanted Tank to fight a top lightweight. You know, an Andy Cruz, a Shakur Stevenson, a Keyshawn Davis, a top lightweight. But instead, Tank decided to fight a 130-pounder. Yes, champion, but 130 pounds in Lamont Roach, who coming in was known to be a solid fighter, good fundamentals, and just very good fighter overall. But was coming up in weight, and no one really had Lamont Roach in mind to fight Tank. You know, everybody wanted Tank to fight a big name in his weight class. You know, Tank has a history of, fighting guys with rehydration clauses or fighting guys, having them come up in weight and fight him. So on March 1st, we got Tank and Roach, and the fight not lived up, but surpassed expectations. Like, it turned out to be a pretty damn good fight. You know, both guys, Lamont Roach surprised the boxing world with his performance. He was able to not only be competitive with Tank, but take the fight to Tank. Was able to eat and absorb Tank's thunderous shots and fire back in return, have tremendous exchanges. Both guys, a lot of times, going at it throughout the fight, trading shots. And I'm watching the fight like, damn, Roach is going at it with Tank, eating his shots, firing back with uppercuts, right crosses, left hooks. And it was a firefight. So, not only was it a tremendous fight, but it was a fight that no one expected. You know, everybody saw Tank going in there and putting Lamont Roach to sleep. You know, especially that he was a smaller fighter coming up in weight. And Lamont Roach has not fought anyone to the level of Tank coming in. And man, now the fight was scored a draw. But even though that it was scored a draw, Lamont Roach showed that he could compete with the best of the sport, and was able to hang in there with not one of the hardest punchers in boxing, but one of the biggest names. And he came up in weight and went tooth and nail with Gervonta Tank Davis. You know, the fight was scored a draw, and as we all know, and I'm sure we all can agree that if the knee that Tank took, if the referee had counted it as a knockdown, I think Lamont Roach Jr. would have been walking out victorious that night, but it was what it was. The knee was not counted. Tank was allowed to go to the corner, wipe his face off with a towel, and then continued fighting. That was a bizarre moment, one of the most bizarre moments in boxing. That's a no-no. You can't take a knee, turn your back, go to the corner, wipe your face off. No, that's supposed to be an automatic count because you're showing the referee like you're trying to abandon fight. You're abandoning the fight, and you deserve to be counted. But even the referee was like, "Don't do that. I'm supposed to count you out." I don't know if you guys heard it. Don't do that. I'm supposed to be counting you out. Don't do that. Yeah. But it was what it was. Here we are. That's why we got this rematch because it needed to happen. It was a competitive fight, hell of a fight, and Lemon Roach deserves a rematch. And this fight went from the fight that we didn't want to see, that we didn't ask for, to the fight now to the fight that now we want to see. It went from the fight that we didn't want to see to the fight we want to see. And this rematch is going to be just as action packed as the first, and I'm looking forward to it. On August 16th is going to be great. What will we see? A lot of people are still predicting that Tank is going to go in there and knock Roach out. Uh, I can't see it, especially the way how tremendous Roach performed. He showed me now that he can not only give it but take it. He was eating Tank's bombs, man, and then man. So I expect him to eat the same shots, fire back, have his moments, and bring us and give us another tremendous banger. So yeah, August 16th, ladies and gentlemen, in Vegas, the rematch is set. Tank versus Roach, number 2, for Tank's WBA lightweight title. Miracle Boy Boxing, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Jose Cruz. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. It is always a pleasure to talk to you guys about boxing. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Peace.